Hey everybody, it's Dr. Swanson. I thought I'd post a little video clip and give you a little guidance on this first writing assignment for the class, because sometimes people get kind of freaked out about the first assignment, not really sure what I'm looking for or what it's supposed to be, and all that kind of thing. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of guidance. The first writing assignment is the solo assignment where you are writing the coworker memo. You're writing to Pat. And we can assume that, well, let's just say for sake of assumption, Pat is a woman, and she's been working in this agency for a long time, and you're, let's assume, younger than she is, and all of a sudden you're told that you're going to have to meet with her to give her writing critique and writing instruction. Okay, kind of put yourself in Pat's position. She may be freaked out by this whole thing. She may not have any clue that her writing needs help. And so all of a sudden, bam, out of the blue, there you are, with this information that you're going to have to meet with her. So try to put yourself in her position. With this assignment, as with so much in this class, it's all about balance. You want to look for the right balance. If you were to write to Pat in such a way where, it was all friendly and everything's great and we like you so much and we're glad you work here and everything's, roses and unicorns, Pat is not going to get the seriousness of this message. Likewise, if you go to the other end of the scale and you send or you create this document that goes, Pat, oh, your writing sucks. Oh, this is what you're going to do. You're going to have to meet with me. Pat's going to want to open the window and jump out. So, you don't want to be at either end of the scale. You want to be in the middle. You want to write a document that is serious, it's firm, but it's also rewarding. You want to start out in some way at the beginning by rewarding Pat. And you want to put this context of the writing instruction or training or however you want to phrase it, you want to put this in the context of professional development. This is an opportunity for Pat to sharpen her skills. It's an opportunity for her to be more valuable to the company, that kind of thing. You want to put it in that positive context. And all the phrasing you want to use positive phrasing, not negative, because, and if we were in person, I'd give you chapter and verse on this because my master's thesis was about negative reinforcement. We don't want to negatively reinforce people. It is not good in the workplace to tell people what not to do because psychologically that's very difficult to process, and ultimately what it results in is people do that stuff anyway, they just hide it from the boss. You've seen the bumper sticker that says, Jesus is coming, look busy. That's negative reinforcement. And so we don't want to negatively reinforce Pat. So look for a way to have that balance. You want to build her up a little bit because she probably needs it. The whole idea of training might kind of freak her out. But you don't want to build her up so much that you water down the seriousness of this. And the seriousness of this is Pat's skills need improvement. And you are offering this professional development opportunity to make that happen. One other thing I wanted to mention, the instructions call for you to mention the step-by-step writing process. Absolutely, you need to do that. You have to look for balance here too. If you just say in your memo essentially, Pat, here's the step-by-step writing process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just kind of list them and you don't give any details about them, Pat's going to go, duh. I mean, it's not going to mean anything to her because she's not using the steps anyway and you haven't explained them, so it doesn't mean anything. On the other end of the scale, if you give like 3 paragraphs on each one of the steps, step 1 is blah, 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 that's going to overwhelm Pat because she doesn't get the idea anyway. So, you're just burying her and stuff. So look for balance there too. You want to identify the steps, but you want to do so in a concise way so that Pat, who doesn't really understand good writing anyway, is going to kind of go, oh, okay, I get it. Because you're going to cover these, when you meet with Pat in person anyway, if you were actually doing that. So look for balance in the way you present the steps of the process. Make sure that at the end of your memo, there's a call to action. That means you are setting up something with Pat in a very specific way. Don't end your memo where you said you're going to have to meet by just saying, talk to you soon, that's not enough of a call to action. Read the materials in the text about a call to action. The last thing I wanted to say was on the top of my head, and it just blew out. I don't remember now what it was. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff that you want to do. Maybe the great idea will come back to me by the time I finish this. That's the kind of stuff you want to do. You want to look for balance in this experience. Oh, I remember now what the thing was. The steps of the writing process, you need to remember those also, because in past classes, I have students do this assignment. Everybody writes the memo and they list the steps of the writing process. And then immediately after that, it's like they have amnesia. They forget the writing steps and they don't use them themselves. So as you learn about these writing steps and as you communicate them to Pat, make sure you internalize this information, because you too need to follow those steps of the writing process. Because if you don't, the work you do in the future in this class is going to be all wonky, and you don't want it to be that way. So make sure that you internalize those writing steps also. If you have any questions about this or anything else in this class, please let me know at any time. I'm in the class almost every day, and I'm in email every day. And if you send me an email, I'll respond. If you put a question in the questions and answers thing in Titanium, it sends me an email, I'll respond. I really do want to have lots of feedback, and I don't want there to be any unanswered questions on your part. So going forward, remember this assignment is coming due. Tick, 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 very soon. And if there's anything I can help with along the way, let me know. A common question is, will you look at my work before I submit it for the assignment? No, I won't do that, because that entails more than one look at the work. We're going to have an assignment coming up that is a draft. I look at it, send it back to you, you do it again. We're going to have one of those coming up later, but not right now. So what I want you to do is, if you need another set of eyeballs on your work, and I strongly recommend that, have members of your team look at it. Have your roommate look at it. Have your mom look at it. Have other people look at it. They don't need to be PR people to look at it, because they can read it and go, this doesn't make any sense. You said this here and you did that. What? They'll give you that kind of feedback. Or they'll go, damn, that looks pretty good. I would just move this sentence around and do this, blah, blah, and do that. So, get that feedback from other people in the class, people outside of the class. Doesn't matter to me. The more eyeballs you get on your work, the better chance you have of making it clear, complete, and understandable. But I'm not going to give you that multiple review, because I have other classes to teach too. So anyhow, and after this first assignment, I'll give you plenty of feedback on this work, and as we move into the class, you will have a much better idea of how I think about things and how I view things, and you'll find that overall my standards are pretty lenient, because my end game here is for you to improve your writing. It's not for you to become the perfect writer, the walk on water writer, because I don't know that person. And I've been writing professionally for 40 years, and I don't know that person. So we're just aiming for excellence. We're not aiming for perfection. So that's the story from here. Thank you very much for your work. I look forward to reading your assignments in the days to come.